Hi guys and welcome back. Today I want to talk about trading and how you can take this market condition in order to make money, because yes, it is quite boring, it's sideways and it is just suffering because the market is bleeding and something that it is not so great to see. But when we are talking about trading, yes, there are still opportunities to make money, and I want to present to you a couple of them. Most of all, we will be using the platform Bitmex. It is coming from one of my sponsors. I will show you how it works, and most of all, I will also give you a welcome bonus if you're interested in. So stay tuned because it will be quite interesting, and don't forget you have all the information in the description below, so you feel free to check them by yourself. Guys, let me say that this channel is about educational content and nothing has to be intended as financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, that's great, but always on research before. And guys, don't forget to leave us a big thumbs up and drop a comment. And if you want to also know more about other topics and other channels and so on, you can also use our Twitter account that you will find in the description below, plus our weekly newsletter, where every week we'll release new analysis, new information about what is going on into the market right now. So don't miss this opportunity, it is completely free. So let's start immediately. As I was saying to you, we will use Bitmex in order to understand how to make money through trading, because, for example, you can check a chart, you can see an opportunity, and I will show you in a moment how to structure also a strategy in order to set up a good trade. But the point is that after that you have to use a platform. From one side you can use a decentralized exchange. We have been talking about many of them during the last couple of months and so on. But on the other side you can also use a centralized exchange like Bitmex. Before going on, I want to stop for a second and I will hire myself just to talk to you about transparency and security. After what happened with FTX, it's really important in the moment when you use any centralized exchange, you check about the level of transparency and the kind of reserves that they have. When it comes to Bitmex, you can find, for example, here on Defi Llama, it is written here. And most of all, you have the link to all the information available also on GitHub. The reason why I like Bitmex is because they were doing this transparency even before the whole scandal of FTX. And that's something that is really important. My personal suggestion is that centralized exchanges are not the evil, are something that could be pretty useful, as we will see into this video about trading. The only way to do real trading is using centralized exchanges. But please pay always attention, check the level of transparency, and most of all, don't use exchanges like as your custodian. You are the one who is in charge for the custody. Use the different exchanges for trading, because that's the maximum value it can retrieve for them. Okay, we can go on. For those of you who are maybe unaware of what is Bitmex, in the moment when we are talking about Bitmex, we are talking about an exchange that has quite a long history, because it has been into the market since the previous bull run, and most of all has been one of the first, or better, the first to introduce perpetual swap. That's something that you can also retrieve from their about page, as you can see here. In 2016, they introduced the first perpetual swap, that it was the XBT USD. If you're wondering what is a perpetual swap and why it is so important, I will give you a definition just in a second. It is the tool that is enabling you to use leverage, because in the moment when you are talking about here, when you go to derivatives, you have the opportunity to trade with a leverage. Here, the leverage is going from 0 to up 100x. Having a leverage of 100x, it means that if you are having in your wallet just $1,000, you can trade with a nominal value of up to $100,000. How it works? It is pretty simple. It means that in the moment when the price is moving, let's say that the price is moving just by 1%, you have to multiply this 1% for your leverage. So it means that if you're having a 20x leverage, if the price is moving by 1%, the kind of effect that will have on your position will be by the 20%. This is something that is great when the price is going up, because let's suppose that the price is going up by 1%, you will benefit from your starting values from the money that you had into your wallet for a 20%, so quite a lot. Unfortunately, it works also into the side, the bad side. So in the moment when it is going into the opposite direction of your bet, unfortunately, you will lose money, not just for 1%, but for 1% multiplied by your leverage. So as you can see, it is quite great, juicy opportunity from one side, but also quite risky. In a moment, I will also show you how you can use the leverage in a wise way, because it is a great opportunity, but you should start using that into a good and with the awareness of what are the risks connected to that. The perpetual swap that has been introduced by Bitmex, it is something that is close to a normal future, but it doesn't have an end. When we talk about a future, it means that you are not buying the underlying asset. So let's suppose that you are trading Bitcoin. You are not buying Bitcoin. So you will not have in your wallet the Bitcoin, the real Bitcoin, but you are just trading the price. So the price that is trying to follow the price of the Bitcoin. The point is that in the moment when you don't have a deadline, you don't have a moment into the future where you will for real buying the underlying asset and receiving into your wallet Bitcoin, but you are just having, like in this case, a price that is moving indefinitely during the time. And in order to have a convergence between the perpetual swap and the spot price, you have a funding rate. This is something that you can find here. This is the predicted rate that it will come in 14 hours, and this is the funding rate that will come in 6 hours. As you can see, every 8 hours on Bitmex, you will have to pay the funding rate. The funding rate is not something that anyone is paying. In a moment when it is negative, the short position will pay it. In a moment when it is positive, the long position will pay. So long position, when it is positive, are paying it to the short positions, and vice versa. In the moment when it is negative, short position are paying it to long position. If you're wondering why, it is simply because in a moment when the spot price is above the derivative price, the perpetual price, in that moment the funding rate is negative, because the incentive is to open more long position to increase the price of the perpetual swap. In a moment when the perpetual swap is higher than the spot price, in that moment the funding rate will be positive, because there should be an incentive to push people to open a short position in order to bring the price again down. If you're interested to the platform, I will leave also the link, this link here, so bitmex.com/app/register/XPSXZ1. This is the link that you should use in order to get a welcome bonus of 80 token BMX tokens, that are the tokens that are of the platform that you can use also here to stake, to receive other benefit, and also to cut down your fees. I will leave also this link so you can learn much more about the BMX token. Don't forget, you can also click here just to have the overview to the light paper to know all the different features about the BMX token. Okay, once we have understood what is Bitmex, what is the BMX token, why the perpetual swap that has been introduced by Bitmex is so important, let's try to understand how to set up a strategy in order to make money for real when it comes to trading. First of all, you need to analyze the chart. This is something that you can do here into the Bitmex platform. You can also click here if you want to have the chart on the full screen. Otherwise, you can use other tools like TradingView. Personally speaking, I rather prefer to study to set up my strategy here on TradingView, and after that, opening the position on Bitmex. There are two important things that you need to remind in the moment when you want to create a strategy, or better, I would say three. First of all, generally speaking, trading, it doesn't mean winning all the bets that you are opening. It doesn't mean that I have, let's suppose that I'm opening 10 positions, it doesn't mean that all of them will be winning. Unfortunately, when it comes to trading, it is a matter of probability. So the goal is to increase the value of your wallet. This is something that is really important, because I'm seeing many people that are just pursuing the goal of making money each time. That's not the point. What you care is that at the end of the year, the amount of money that you would have in your wallet should be superior, should be higher than the amount that you had at the beginning. That's something that is really important. Second, in a moment when you are opening a position, let's say in this case, we want to open a position on ETH, because we were looking at this chart. This is the chart of ETH. So let's go here. Let's go and let's say that we want to open a 1000 position. You can choose among a limit order or a market order. Here you have the two label. The main difference is that in the moment when you are opening a market order, you are using the order book. This is the order book that you can find here, the one that I'm moving here. This is the order book. And if you are buying from the orders that are trying to sell. If you are selling, you are simply using the order book from the people that are buying. So this is the meaning of market. When it comes to limit, it means that you are adding your order to the order book. The main difference is also that in the moment when it comes to limit order, usually the fees are lower instead of the ones that are regarding the market price. So up to you according to how fast you want to open your position. After that, you have to decide the leverage. Obviously, remember, as I was telling you, that in the moment when you are using leverage, you are increasing also the risk. It's something that you should remember. But how to set up a strategy? First of all, you need to check the chart, deciding which time frame you are trading. One story is trading like this chart. It is a weekly, so it means that your horizon is something that is happening during weeks. Another story is trading something with a time frame of an hour. That's something that it is completely different. Remember, the shorter is the time frame that you are trading, also more volatile is the kind of price that you will see, and most of all, less reliable are the support, resistance that you are seeing, and also the different indicators like the RSI that I'm using here, or the MACD that you are seeing down here. Usually, personally, I rather prefer to go with a daily time frame, because it is giving us a much more decent reliability, and also a good time frame to make and trade money. As you can see from this chart, you will see that we have a resistance up here, and we have a support down here. Right now, we are just moving sideways. What are doing great bots are buying here in order to sell here. So it means that you can add your order, for example, here. You can go short in the moment when it is touching this position, but be aware that for any reason it is breaking upside this level, or even better here, you need to be aware that in that moment the strategy that you were trading, it is simply invalidating. So practically speaking, it means that in the moment when you are opening a position, you have to choose your limit price here. That is the price at which your position will be a trigger. Let's say 1,350, but you can decide. What I want to say to you is that there is no really the right choice or wrong choice. It really depends from your profile risk. What really matters is being aware to which level the situation, so the hypothesis that you made, will change. You have to analyze the chart and see, okay, the price right now is moving into this area. Okay, for this reason, what I'm supposing, which kind of a scenario I'm thinking it is more likely. It is simply that it will go sideways. If I'm thinking like this way, I can open a position, a long position when it comes to the lower layer here, so to the support, and I can open a short position when it comes to the upper band of this sideways channel. So you have to open the position long or short, and after that you need to add, guys, this is the most important thing, you need to add a take profit or a stop loss. A take profit means that, for example, when it comes here, if you were shorting, you have been opening here the position, you have to take profit down here, or maybe you can even take profit all along the path. Again, it really depends from your personal strategy. Or if it comes to a stop loss, if you are seeing that your position is not anymore doing the kind of behavior that you were supposing, let's say that is going above 1,407, in this moment, it is probably invalidating your strategy. So it is needed to have a stop loss. Obviously, you need also to understand if the risk-reward ratio, it is something that it deserves. So it is something that is enough to open a position and trade that. Again, this is something that is personally just a personal choice. Personally speaking, I would not trade this channel. I would rather go to wait to open a position in the moment when we will break the support. So open a position here, for example, long in the moment when we have the confirmation that we are starting a new trend, a new uptrend, or going down. I would rather open a short in the moment when I'm seeing that we are breaking this support. You can even try to anticipate a movement, but again, guys, in the moment when you are opening this position, always remember, please do always use take profit and stop loss, because without that you are really too much exposed. When it comes again to Bitmex, down here you will find your open position, active orders, and so on. Another thing that is quite nice is that you can decide to adapt the page to your how you prefer. For example, you can decide that for you it's more important to have much more space when it comes to the order book, so you can reduce or expand it, or you can even decide that you don't need the depth of the market, so you can just adapt the interface according to what you need at most. On Bitmex, you can also trade spot. So in the moment when we are talking about derivatives, it means that you are using leverage. It means that you are having, as you can see here, guys, remember the funding rate. This is something that is really important to remind. And you can use the leverage. When we are talking about the spot market, it means that you are buying for real the underlying asset. You can just have to choose which asset you want to buy. For example, it is here ETH. And you have just to decide the amount and the order value and so on, and you will be buying for real the asset. So in that moment you will have the ETH into your wallet, and you will be able also to withdraw them using them on DeFi and whatever you are using. Guys, I hope that this overview of Bitmex give you a better understanding of what does it mean trading, because trading, especially during this kind of situation, it is something that is really important. If you want to know more about Bitmex, you can also check Investopedia, that is offering you a whole overview on the different and main aspects of Bitmex. If you want to subscribe, don't forget to use this link that will give you also welcome bonus. In any case, you will find all the information down into the description below. And remember that unfortunately right now Bitmex is not available into the United States. So if you are a US user, be aware that you can't use that. In any case, again, you can find all the information into the description below. Guys, so let me know if you have any question about how to set up a trading strategy, how to use Bitmex, and I will be more than welcome to answer to you. Guys, thank you for following me. Don't forget to leave us a big thumbs up and drop a comment, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye, guys.